Hi, hey, and all those other greetings of adventurers. I'm Jake Spins, your creative and very busy gaming and unboxing channel host for this evening. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with that. But anyway, though, we're back with some more Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. What? Why are we back on Stage Builder when I literally just did a video yesterday? Isn't it a little too early for Twinkle Park? Yes, it is. Which is why I'm not creating Twinkle Park. Yeah, instead, I'm actually going to be doing something from the Mario series, being Bowser's Castle. Now I know I did mention about, a different Mario project, and this is probably not what you expected for episode 7. But yeah, it's literally the same day as I'm uploading that other one. But I don't know, I just felt like being creative. I mean, I could use that for writing, but hey, you know what? I'm still going to try to get some writing done today anyway. But, why not try to give Bowser a nice, good, villainous home? Alright, let's build a dream. Well, that was as disappointing as it was for Thanos at the end of Endgame. I think it's broken. Hang on. Let's just see. Is Iron Man the other hand? Alright guys, so here we go. Welcome to episode 7 of Build Me a Dream, where instead of doing a Sonic Adventure stage, we are doing Bowser's Castle, which I'm pretty excited about. I actually made and recorded this like the day after, or like very short after I ended up doing the Casinopolis stage, which it just made it a little more fitting that I ended up doing this instead of, another Sonic Adventure stage, even though I'm very excited to go about that. And then we had the whole Kappa thing, which just made things a little more complicated, and we're still kind of trying to figure out what ground we have, what ground we're treading, and all that. But anyway, I do still want to get this out to be able to show you guys, post the whole entire thing, no matter what happens, just because I'm proud of it and I want you guys to be able to see it. So first things first, I decided to start off with the Thwomp for one specific reason, because it was gonna be a little complicated. Now, of course, the body shape, you've got all these ridges and all this whole entire thing, so I ended up having to do a custom model, and I did it larger so that I could put more details. And yeah, I had a lot of troubles with the mouth. And granted, I'm going to tell you guys right now, the Thwomp's not perfect. It's my first time ever trying to make Thwomp, and it does end up being a little bit, sideways a bit. And as you can see, yeah, with just that Thwomp, there was no way I could add 2. I could only add 1 because of how much space it takes up, but I decided to shrink it because the cool thing is that for some reason, any model or any piece that is connected to multiple pieces, even if it's just 2 pieces, you can have it as small as physically possible, even if it shouldn't be intended, and I think it's an oversight or a glitch or something like that. It's just really bizarre, and I don't know why they ended up doing that. So now, my vision for Bowser's Castle was, instead of doing like inside of Bowser's Castle, I decided to do the entrance. Now, while you might be like, well, Spins, why would you do that? Because there's a Paper Mario stage that has Bowser's Castle in it. Isn't this a little counterproductive? And, well, yes, you could argue that. This is also a very different stage, because that Bowser's Castle ended up having, Bowser's head that twisted and turned, and you fought on that, and you went through different scenes of Sticker Star. Whereas in this, it's going to be as if you were going into, you know, kind of like the menus of when you see Bowser's Castle, that entrance, and the backdrops type of a thing, but you're actually fighting on it. So it's like the whole entire stairwell to it, and I didn't go all the way down with it because I felt that it just made more sense and looked better that way. And the one thing that I am a little bit worried about for this is just because I did eventually add a whole entire lava thing in the foreground, and I'm afraid that people are just going to run off thinking there's more stairs, and there's not. But the lava does end up actually going up and down, so you'll be able to see a little bit better like where the stairs are and all that. Now, I did make a few changes to the staircase and rugs because I wanted to make sure that for the stairs you could actually run up them, because one issue that I had with Windy Valley that I found out later on was that if you ended up running up some of those slopes and some of those different set pieces, certain characters could run up it, but like Duck Hunt for some strange reason couldn't, and I have absolutely no idea why. And it's very bizarre and very weird. Now, that being said though, even though this is a very simple stage, I'm going to go over one of the reasons why I actually liked doing this so much. The reason why I liked doing this so much was because I got to get a little more scenic. As you can see, the stage itself, pretty much done. I could have mainly left it this way, and for the most part, gameplay-wise, that's it. That's the stage. But it wouldn't be fun that way. You know, as you've seen in my Sonic Adventure stages, there's always some kind of gimmick, which Thwomp, right away, you got the gimmick there. But I also try to make it just look better and nicer. And, you know, since we're doing the outside of a castle, even though, yes, in doing this, we do get rid of the fact of having 4 players, yada yada yada. But you have to admit, adding things like doors, it adds a lot more atmosphere. And right now I'm doing, you know, the foreground and all of that kind of stuff. So you've got the pillars, and the pillars were kind of a bit of a challenge to figure out. If anything was a challenge other than Thwomp, it was probably that, and that was just trying to figure out, you know, what material did I want to use. And I ended up just going with I think rubber, because the way it looks more like the stone from Bowser's Castle. And I just struggled with how thin do I want them, how many pillars do I want, and then you have the external pillars, and eventually you'll see a lot of this, the length comes from just trying to figure out what materials to use and just adjusting. And there's like a little bit of it, there's like a good like few minute clip of me just playing around on the stage and trying to figure out like, what do I want to do? Because honestly I had absolutely no idea what to add. But one thing that I decided to add, because when you look at Bowser's Castle, one main focal point, just like for Peach's Castle, you know, there's always the stained glass window. For Bowser's Castle, there's always his Koopa shell. Now this was kind of fun to make because I got to do the spikes. The spikes were kind of annoying on the top. But then I got to put all the circles in there, which took up, yes, a lot more space than it really needed to or should have. But it was just really fun just putting all those circles, making them a certain size, and then just put them wherever. And of course, because I only had room for one Thwomp, I ended up deciding to put it in front of the door. I decided to center it because my thought was, what I was originally going to do was left side, there's a Thwomp. Right side, there's a Thwomp. First off, if there was enough weight, you guys might see how this could be a huge issue. And the way this could be a huge issue is that there's not a lot of stage. It looks like there's a lot more stage to fight on, but when you actually start playing on it, it's like, yeah, this isn't as big as I thought it would be, like as it ended up looking. So then you run into the thought of like, well, is this the right thing to do? So it's a good thing I didn't have to go through the hassle of making a second Thwomp and then realizing, yeah, that's not going to work. So I just put that one in front of the doorway because it's center stage, going to be a lot easier to just fight there and just cooler. So I thought, okay, I have a little bit more room. What in the world am I going to add? And the last thing I ended up adding was a pain in the freaking butt. I'm not even kidding you. A majority of the rest of this is literally just me adjusting these stupid windows and windowsills. I really wish there was some kind of a way to have background and foreground to where you could attach them and it could be like, okay, we want these to be centered, but they're on different layers. Because the problem is, the way I had to do it is that for the windows to look natural, they had to be on the farthest layer physically possible, which made it very hard because then you skip a layer and then you have the windowsill that you actually fight on. So I had to adjust it and make sure that in most cases, you'll actually see the windowsill on the window. It's not perfect, but I mean, I feel like it works. Anyway though guys, I know I just kind of babbled on a little bit, but yeah, that's Bowser's Castle. Hope you enjoyed, and back to past spins. Guys, I gotta admit, that was a lot of fun to make. So here we go. It's Bowser's Castle. Now, while a lot of my stages, well, this one does have the gimmick of the Thwomp, but while a lot of my stages have more of the gimmick, like the whale jumping around, or, you know, I keep mentioning Windy Hill, but all the wind in there, you know, the whole pinball feel of Casinopolis, I feel like one of the big reasons why I had a lot of fun with this was because, in my opinion, I got to make a stage that I would look at and be like, how do you put that much into a Smash Brothers stage? Now, of course, it's not as amazing as a lot of other people, and I will always talk myself down no matter what, so if this is amazing, please let me know. Totally fishing for compliments there. But there are so many stages that I will look at. Like, for instance, somebody made a whole entire stage on Peanut Park from Sunshine. And there was all the rides, and they were moving, and it was just insane. And granted, while it's not at that level, I definitely feel like this is a step in the right direction, because this is taking away from the, hey, this is some weird gimmicky stuff that I want to try, to be a little bit more scenic. Who would think that a desolate castle would be the scenic stage of all that I've created inside of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate? Now, I'm probably going to mention this in post-commentary, but I did want to mention one big thing before we saved this, went off, and started playing the stage a bit. So my original plan was actually to do two Thwomps, one on the left, one on the right. I decided to put this one in the center because after I made the one Thwomp, first off, I realized it was very hard to make a Thwomp, and secondly, it took up a lot of room, even when I shrunk it down. I thought, you know what, maybe once I shrink it down, the weight limit will go down, but that Thwomp in object, you've got the Thwomp itself, you've got the whites of the eyes, so that's 2, you've got the reds of the eyes, so that's 5, you've got the mouth, so that's 2 more, and then you've got the lava. So that's almost 10 different objects that are in that. You don't really think about it because, well, it's that small, but yeah. And it might be a better thing to not have that, because then you have a little bit more room to fight, because I'm not sure how fightable the stairs will be on, but I thought it would look really cool. And in my opinion, it does. I really like that. And at the end, I just added the little window sills because of, add more ground to fight on. And the cool thing is, you can fight on top of the Thwomp. You can ride the Thwomp. There's so many different things that you can do. And I already know what I'm going to make the whole screenshot for the thumbnail of this video, and it's great. So I did already save it, and I'm sure there's been millions of Bowser's Castles created and submitted, unlike Casinopolis, which was actually only one stage. And yet again, made a stage fully to the red, which only is for players. It's unfortunate that the pretty stages can only be played by a few people. But when you're the pretty popular one, I guess you kind of limit your crowd a little bit. Is it right? No. But unfortunately, that's just what happens. You gotta avoid Slidon somehow. So as you guys probably guessed, I am gonna play as Sonic. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm gonna play as Bowser, and I am going to fight. I think he's in. No, he's not. Oh, he's not in there either. I was gonna make the Eggman joke, but I don't have the Eggman Mii Fighter on here. That's on my For Fun one, unfortunately. But I'm gonna be fighting Mario, and I am going to be fighting him on level 9. So wish me luck. If we're lucky, we'll get to do that one little pose, which for me is just having Bowser growl. Yeah, do that on the Thwomp. That's what I initially want to do. Yo, and the best part is, there's so many different combos that you can do with the Thwomp in tow. Oh, and I definitely made these grabbable just because I figured, it's windowsills, and you could probably grab on a windowsill. The only thing that I can see being a potential issue is me missing that hit. No, I'm kidding. But the only thing I can see being a potential issue is somebody going and to jump and walk through the stairs and not knowing that there's nothing there and falling off, because that would really stink. Also, did not realize that I had killed Mario, but it's pretty great. Woo! Into the Thwomp. No, I got into the Thwomp. That's not what I meant, game. Oh no! You know what? The Thwomp is just helping me combo game. Thwomp for Mario Tennis Aces. Yo, what if he ended up in Mario Tennis Aces? I mean, I know he won't, because A, it's a Thwomp, and B, they're already done with characters, but what if they actually added Thwomp? Wouldn't that be wild? Then Bowser can have the true tag team duo of his dreams. Thwomp and himself. I mean, you can tag team Bowser and Dry Bowser, so that's a thing. Oh, I had to spike myself. And I am a little bit curious what happens if you get stuck on the Thwomp, but I have a feeling that I know. No! Oh, I'm going down! Bowser doesn't like windowsills! I know it's not gonna work, but I have the stock. He cape taunted. I knew it wasn't gonna work, but I had the stock advantage to try to show off, Oh, and Mario just got... Oh, no! But, yeah, if anything, that's probably going to be the one gripe that people have about the stage, but, you can't change it now. And hey, you gotta have some flaws for something looking pretty. And the Thwomp will be upset. Look at that. It's high risk, high reward. Do you want to try to go under the Thwomp and risk everything? Or you just want to say, you know what, I'm going to be safe. Oh my god, that combo. Side B into Thwomp, to windowsill, to an up smash. Bowser knows his castle all the way around. That has to have been the quickest game of Smash in one of these custom ones. But yeah, you know what? It's simple. You can't go up to the spires. If I had more room to play around with, then I probably would have added more of that. And you might be like, well, then why didn't you just put that stuff in the foreground? Well, A, I didn't think about it, but B, because it looks prettier this way. Did we need a door? No. But it looks pretty. So anyway, though, guys, if you enjoyed, make sure to hit that like button. Definitely share your creations of Bowser's Castle. I want to know. And I'm sure a bunch of people are gonna tell me if you do have criticisms and if my grammar's wrong, which I'm sure it probably is. But looking at this, because I was actually listening to Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story, and Bowser is spelled the same way. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But, you know, it happens. Anyways, though, I really would like to see your guys' creations of Bowser's Castle. Maybe you have Bowser's Throne Room. And if you guys want to see a little mini-series like the Sonic Adventure thing, where we make rooms inside of Bowser's Castle, because we can make Bowser's Throne Room. As you can see with the carpet, we can do something similar, put a throne there, you fight on the throne, you know. But this stage would basically be like the same thing, but inside. But if you guys have any ideas, then, or if you guys want to see me do anything like that, let me know. But, yeah, I'm just becoming a broken record by this point. So, I'll just say, shares out with everybody known love, brother, mother, sister, father, iguana, video, stage, boom. You know, like the bro meme with the handshake. Is this cringe? Is this hello, fellow kids? I don't know. But, anyway, though, guys, hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Keep your toes safe.